Celebrity memoirs are one of the only times we actually get to peel back the curtain and hear the truth about a celebrity's life. And some of these memoirs are so scandalous it's hard to believe they were even written in the first place. Let's get into the list. In at number 10, To Be Determined by Britney Spears. It has just been announced that Britney's first post-conservatorship project will be writing a memoir based on her life. She signed a deal with Simon & Schuster for $15 million after a bidding war with multiple other publishing companies. This deal is one of the biggest book deals of all time, only behind the Obamas, who sold their books for $60 million to Penguin Random House. A source close to Britney told Page Six, quote, "The narrative has been shifted time and time again by the media, paparazzi, Britney's exes, and even her own family. After being silenced for almost 14 years, she's ready to take back her voice, something that never should have been taken from her in the first place. Britney has had one of the most iconic careers ever, and we're sure she'll be talking about her conservatorship and family issues, along with her high-profile relationships and career success. And this is the first of many new projects she has coming in 2022. Britney has stated on her social media accounts that she hopes to record a new album soon." In at number 9, Inside Out by Demi Moore. Demi Moore's memoir is one of the realest out there, and she revealed personal details that no other celebrity would think of. She spoke a ton about her failed marriage to Ashton Kutcher, and even admitted they used to invite third parties to sleep with them to try and recover their marriage. Unfortunately, that tactic did not work. She also spoke about her insane rise to fame and the struggles that came along with it, like addiction. She dishes out messy details about her relationship with ex-husbands Ashton Kutcher and Bruce Willis. Moore also included details about her fling with Rob Lowe and her hookup with Jon Cryer, as he told the world afterwards that he lost his V card to Moore even though he had slept with other women before her. And at number 8, The Secrets of My Life by Caitlyn Jenner. This memoir was insane because it exposed an entirely new side of Caitlyn Jenner the world had never seen before, even though Caitlyn had been uber famous while she was on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The book was so messy, it's the reason that the Kardashians cut Caitlyn off shortly after her transition. The book mainly focuses on Caitlyn keeping her true self hidden from the world, and she claims that Kris and the family knew of her gender identity issues years beforehand, but forced her to stay silent, a claim which the entire Kardashian family has denied. On Keeping Up, Kris Jenner said about the book, quote, "Everything she says is all made up. Why does everything have to be that Kris is such a..." Caitlyn responded to the controversy, stating that she told Kris about her identity in the beginning of their marriage. At this point, it's hard to know who to believe. And at number 7, Down the Rabbit Hole by Holly Madison. After the show The Girls Next Door became a huge hit, everyone wanted to know what really happened to the ladies while they were in the house, and head girlfriend Holly Madison shared her side of the story in her explosive memoir. Holly spoke about the oppressive and controlling tactics that Hef would use to make sure the girls never left him, like giving them an allowance and punishing them if they tried to save it. Holly wrote in the book, quote, "Hef knew how desperate, sad, and broken I was, but didn't do a damn thing about it. I'd given 7 years of my life to a man who couldn't even have a conversation with me." She also revealed the bedtime rituals the girls would have to partake in once a week, and apparently all the women would have to go to Hef's room and take turns sleeping with him, if you catch my drift. Overall, Madison portrays Hefner to be a highly manipulative figure who prevented the women from having independent lives, and a lot of her stories have been confirmed by the other women. And at number 6, Open Book by Jessica Simpson. In Simpson's 2020 memoir, she put it all on the table, talking about her failed marriage to Nick Lachey, her career highs and lows, and her struggle with alcohol addiction. She admits that when she was a rising star, she was often compared to Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, and that gave her confidence issues. She also remembers the time when male executives called her overweight and told her that she needed to lose some pounds if she wanted to book roles, and this created a years-long struggle with eating. She was also incredibly open about her struggles with substance addiction. She admitted that she had such a bad experience on Halloween of 2017, she decided to go sober the next day. She was too wasted to help her kids get ready on Halloween night, and she slept the entire night and day so they would not have to see her in that state. Halfway number 5, Kris Jenner and All Things Kardashian by Kris Jenner. The Kardashian family is one of the most famous and interesting of our time, and the family has been at the center of huge moments in history. In Kris's book, she focuses on the hardest time of her life, the trial of O.J. Simpson. Nicole Brown Simpson had been one of her best friends, and she even gave her daughter Kendall the middle name Nicole to honor her friend. In the book, Kris states how she knew O.J. was guilty, and she was heartbroken their ex-husband, Rob Kardashian, defended O.J. She spoke of the strain this put on their co-parenting and how it affected the kids. Kris also spoke about how she met Robert when she was very young, and she ended up cheating on him multiple times throughout the marriage. At the time the book was released, her daughter shared how hard it was for them to read these dirty details, and it mainly affected oldest daughter Courtney. And at number 4, Little Girl Lost by Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore had such an insane childhood, she had enough to write a memoir about when she was only 15. After starring in E.T. in 1982, she quickly descended into substance addiction, and it got so bad she was put into rehab at the age of 14. In the book, she revealed the tragic story of how she ended up in the party scene before hitting puberty. Apparently it was all thanks to her mother. Drew revealed that her mother started pouring alcohol over her ice cream when she was only 7 years old, and she got drunk the first time at Rob Lowe's birthday when she was only 10. According to The Guardian, her mother first took her to Studio 54 that same year, and the pair often went to clubs throughout Barrymore's childhood. When talking about Studio 54, Drew recalled, quote, "It was like Disneyland for adults, only I got to be a part of it. We went out pretty regularly, sometimes once a week, other times up to 5 times, but nothing was never enough for me." In at number 3, Troublemaker Surviving Hollywood and Scientology. Leah Remini went from being a Hollywood actress to a woman on a mission to expose the truth about Scientology. In her memoir, she exposed the truth behind her shocking split from Scientology. She revealed that when she was only a teenager, she went to the Scientology-run Sandcastle Hotel in Florida, and like any other person, she wanted to suntan at the beach. But for some reason that was prohibited, and when she was caught, they took her out to sea and threw her off a boat, almost drowning her. That's not all. After she took food from the headquarters, she was fined $40,000. In addition to the book, she also has a TV program where she attempts to expose the secrets of Scientology. In at number 2, Family Rift by Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling comes from one of the richest families in Hollywood, so it's no shock that everyone wanted to hear the dirty details that the family kept hidden. Tori is the daughter of legendary Hollywood producer Aaron Spelling. Their home, called the Spelling Manor, is one of the most expensive in the world and was recently listed for $165 million. In the book, Tori spoke about her strained relationship with her mother. Tori accused her mother, Candy, of having an affair with a family friend while her father was on his deathbed. At the time her dad passed, Candy and Tori were not on speaking terms, and Candy apparently cut her off and gave her no money after she was kicked out. Tori was broke for years after and had to get money from friends to survive. Tori also claimed she learned about her father's death from an email because her mother didn't tell her herself. And finally at number 1, No Lifeguard on Duty: The Accidental Life of the World's First Supermodel. This memoir by Janice Dickinson exposed the horrible truth behind her rise to become the world's first supermodel. Her life is so interesting that this was the first of 3 memoirs written by Dickinson. This memoir focused mostly on her life during the 60s and 70s during her early career. Her next focused on her botched plastic surgeries and struggles with eating caused by her years in modeling. People loved this book because of how honest she was about her rise to fame, even throwing some other celebrities under the bus in the process. She also doesn't try to depict herself as perfect, and she owns up to a lot of her mistakes, making it quite a refreshing read. So that's all for the list. Let me know your thoughts below. Before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from top 10 celebrities who broke up in 2022, I guess so far. Megan McKenzie said, "When Jason Momoa and his wife divorced, I was so sad. They were such a great couple. I was so sad because he always spoke about how, in love he was with her and how they had such a perfect marriage, and, he was just like their biggest cheerleader, and to find out a couple like that can't even survive, it's like, what's the hope for the rest of us?" Then Jabbar said, "Most celebrity couples never last." It really is the truth. I think it's just, they have so many options. When you're a celebrity, it's like, you get that urge, why settle down in a way? Then Rary said, "I'm so happy when Hawaiian people do well. Jason got his love. They had 2 great kids and had time with their family. Mistakes happen, life goes on. Blessings to both of them. What does not break you only makes you stronger. Love from Hawaii, but men suck. Aloha." Yeah, you're right. At least he had that time together. They have children. I actually heard a rumor that they might be back together, or they might be attempting to reconcile, so we might hear them actually getting back together, which would be really, really crazy, but I guess we will keep you posted on what happens there. Alright guys, I've been your host Mackenzie Smith, and we will catch you in the next one.